Stop the dump.
Hi everyone, I'm Roger. I live in Ingersoll. I'm going to give you a little information today about the dump. I'm going to make 4 points and give you some information at the end, and hopefully you become proactive in your community. Because hopefully, like me, you enjoy clean drinking water, clean food, and a place that doesn't stink like a dump. Before we get into those points, I'd like to show you why I care. Here's where the dump's going to be, and here's where I live. That's pretty close if you ask me. That's why it matters to me and my children. Point number one, the liner. Walker Environmental Group. Now this is the group that wants to make the dump, and they're calling themselves an environmental group. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really trust companies that try and put a spin right on the beginning of their whole existence within our community as a environmental group. Now, how many times have we been told the truth by large companies? How many times have we been taken advantage as a populace? How many times have we been poisoned accidentally? And in how many countries have big businesses ruined the environment? Many, countless countries. Millions of people dead, and we're supposed to believe that this liner is going to keep us all safe from all the toxins that they put in there? I don't think so. I believe the liner there is to keep the company safe so that they can say to the community 20, 30 years from now, we did the best we could. We put in all of the safety precautions we needed to. We followed all of the government guidelines. Now, this same government is being funded by big business, so how can we really trust that? My second point is pretty simple. It's dumpsters. A lot of this garbage that we're going to be receiving is from Toronto and surrounding area, and it's from big industrial dumpsters to these little small dumpsters on the street. Now everybody knows that dumpsters are kind of the place you put things you don't want to put out in your regular garbage. And people see dumpsters as a good place to put things like toxic stuff and things that they don't want other people to see that they've dumped out. Because there's really no checks and balances on these things. They pick them up, they put them in the truck, and away they go, and they bring them to the dump site. So, do we really want our community to be surrounded by this kind of junk? Do we really want our wildlife to have access to these kinds of toxins that are going to be in there? Do we really want our water to be damaged by the toxins that are in there? I don't think so. Do we really want our wildlife to be affected by the toxins that are going to be in this dump? Do we really want to bring in the kind of wildlife that are attracted to the dump? Do we really want to leave a legacy of trash for our children? If we do, then we should do nothing. But if we want to make a difference in our children's lives and in our lives, we need to put a stop to this because there's species that are in the surrounding area that are endangered. There's tundra swans that pass through every year. There is fish living in a river right adjacent to this building site, like trout, pike, bass, species that are edible and species that may no longer be edible after this dump is put in. The fourth point that I'm speaking about is the cost of this landfill. And I'm not talking about the infrastructure of the landfill itself. I'm talking about the loss of habitat, the poisoning of the air and the water, and the local economy. Our local economy is already starting to see effects of this proposal for this mega dump. The road going from Ingersoll to Woodstock has many houses for sale at under market value. And if this dump proposal goes through, those houses will be worth even less. And the housing market in Ingersoll in general will take a nosedive. Our local economy is going to take a huge hit because businesses aren't going to want to move in to a place that's next to a huge dump. They're just not going to want to put their money and stock in that. So if we're looking at the long-term economic viability of our communities, this mega dump is just a bad idea because it lowers our values of our houses, it lowers the value of our natural resources, and it lowers the general overall value of the land surrounding this dump. So we need to look at these things, make some informed decisions, and act. And it's going to be a long haul. They're still in the environmental assessment phase. It's going to be a couple years before this dump goes in, and we need to stay resilient. As a community, we need to stick together, and we need to really do all we can to stop this dump for our sakes and the sake of our children. For more information or to get involved, please go to the website below.